everyone, this is FM Greeno and welcome along to my top 5 teams to manage in FM21 Stadium Edition. Now this isn't going to be about the biggest and best stadiums that the big clubs in FM21 are going to have. We all know about the likes of, Old Trafford and the Allianz Arena. This is some smaller stadiums with little quirks about them that I think would be interesting to check out, and the teams that play there that you can manage in FM21. Let's go and have a little look at the first team. So for our first ground, we are taking a trip over to Iceland and the home of IBV, Hasteinsvöllur. On the face of it, just a small kind of little main stand, and if you're sat on the wrong side of the ground, it looks fairly unremarkable, to be honest. There's a little kind of covered stadium behind it and the town, but if you sit in the main stand, the view is absolutely spectacular, and this is a groundhopper's dream. So if you'd like to manage a team that plays in a stadium like this, with that kind of view, then IBV in Iceland is a good choice. For our second ground, we are heading to the top flight of Czech football and FC Slovacko. As you can see, the stadium is in a fairly nondescript kind of area, and in itself it's a modern, tidy kind of ground, but fairly unremarkable. There is one reason, and one reason alone, that I would pick this as a top 5 stadium to manage at in FM21, and it is the floodlights. There are a bunch of people like myself who get quite obsessed with floodlights at football stadiums, and sadly they're becoming very generic, and a lot of the ones particularly in Eastern Europe, where they had some crazy floodlights over the years, are being torn down as they rebuilt grounds. So it's nice to see a ground here with absolutely beautiful, spectacular floodlights, and for me that's reason enough to go and manage this team in FM21. The third stadium we're going to visit is the Rheinparkstadion, which is the home of the Liechtenstein national football team and also FC Vaduz, who play in the Swiss leagues. They're actually an interesting save in their own right, so you should check them out. This stadium sits right on the border between Liechtenstein and Switzerland. The River Rhine is the only thing that separates them. It's a small, functional stadium, some would say a little small for international football, but it's the vistas that really bring it into its own. Behind the stands you can see the Alps. They are spectacular in the summer months, but when there is snow on the peaks it really comes into its own. And that's got to be a beautiful place to want to manage a football team. And if that's not enough, behind one of the stands you have a castle as well. Absolutely spectacular. Our fourth stop on this tour is Hungary, and a stadium that you'd be forgiven for thinking was not a stadium at all if you turned up outside. Very interesting looking. I don't know who this cheeky chappy is who's been to the ground, but he looks like he's having a good time. This is the home of Puskas Akademia. Now if we ignore the controversy around the club, stealing the Puskas name from Honved, and the stadium effectively being a vanity project for Viktor Orban in his back garden, this is a spectacular stadium. Architecturally very different from anything I've ever seen before. And at night time it looks absolutely beautiful. I think this would be a great stadium for people to come and manage at for FM21. I think we all like a stadium that's effectively cut into a cliff, SK Braga being another example over in Portugal. This one though is something a little bit different. Again, on the face of it, not a spectacular looking stadium. Very bog standard Eastern European fare. This is the home of NK Imotski, who play in the Croatian 4th division, so you're going to have to wait for a custom database to download to be able to play this team. But what a location this is. In the mountains, the pitch has been cut into the rock. High above it to the left there you see a fortress. You can actually walk through this fortress, and if a game is on, you can actually stop and look over this wall and watch the game. What a fabulous location this is. Unfortunately, the one downside with it is they've done a bit like Dumbarton have. The ground has one side facing away from the castle. So if you're in the stand, you can't actually see the castle. Perhaps they should have built it the other side. But it's still a very spectacular venue to watch football, and one I think you'll enjoy going to in FM21. So that concludes my top 5 teams to manage in FM21 Stadium Edition. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at these interesting and quirky little grounds, and it gives you some inspiration of places that you can go and manage. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like on there, and any comments you've got on this, I'd love to see them below too. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so. There's some interesting FM20 content in the back catalogue there, and a lot to look forward to in FM21 going forwards too. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I've been FM Greeno, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.